Well, shit. Welcome back to Porn Plot Review, everybody. That's right, we're still reviewing porn for the plot around here, and things are only getting better. Well, not for me, but for you guys, because today we're analyzing Wood Rocket's porn parody adaptation of Aladdin, here dubbed Aladdin.
Well, all you gotta do is rub like so.
This one's directed by Leroy Myers, who you might know for lovely films such as Ass Venture Time, 10-Inch Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Godfather XXX, Strokemon, SpongeNob Square Nuts, and of course, our very own Game of Bones. This guy has 57 porn film credits under his belt, so I expect all of you guys to show him some respect. When Mr. Myers isn't directing Oscar-nominated pictures, he likes to bombard Twitter with potential parody names, and occasionally blesses his followers with thoughtful prank suggestions such as this. Yeah, he really posted that. This man also played Varys in Game of Bones, and I did enjoy his performance, so there's that. Now when it comes to Aladdin, I think the original is pretty good. The new one's fine, but it just isn't the same without Robin Williams' legendary performance as the genie. That first movie had heart, beautiful animation, and a lot of fun moments. I'm thinking maybe, with Wood Rocket and in turn Leroy Myers at the helm, this movie has a real chance to pump some fresh air into the Aladdin mythos that the live-action remake failed to do. And yes, I shit you not, there's songs in this, and they're not half bad.
Now I'm a fucking genie, and I live in a fucking lamp. I got a big blue that does a trick and makes all the ladies damn.
Let's just hope it's half as good as the new one. I'm not asking for much here. So let's check this out and see if lightning strikes twice with our boy Leroy. Aladdin opens up with some tasteful shots of Middle Eastern landscape as we hone in on a tent in the desert.
Oh, Aladdin.
Oh, me.
One-eyed snake in her basket, one long cruise down her Nile. The size of my hookah pipe makes her smile. Sideways, one game of Who's Your Sultan, pita filled with my kebab. Knocking pointy boots is my only job.
As Aladdin is enjoying himself, his mistress's husband returns home.
Hi, honey, I'm Ted. Honey?
Rather than lament about this problem in normal conversation, Aladdin carries on singing when confronting his lover about her husband.
You said you were single. One pump ahead of the pop shot.
Showtime.
Bust coconut from my palm.
Shot.
My pants lamp shoots out a jean.
Low time.
Shawarma. Gonna drip tahini. I just so now so long.
Aladdin escapes to pipe another day, leaving the tent as we bring our attention over to the royal palace, where Princess Jasmine pouts over not having a man who can satisfy her romantically. Raja, Jasmine's pet tiger, who has taken the form of a woman, enters the room to console her.
What's wrong, Jasmine? I'm so depressed. You 20th century millennials with your worldwide sand and your face scroll.
In what will be the first of many meta references to Aladdin, Raja suggests that Jasmine might be feeling blue because the live-action Aladdin failed to recapture the magic of the original.
Are you depressed because they made an unnecessary live-action remake of a close-to-perfect animated movie?
No. I'm depressed because I'm supposed to screw a prince, but there just isn't one daddy enough for this royal bone.
You should just go for a younger man. That's what I do. Rawr.
That's because you're a cougar, Raja.
Jasmine calls Raja a cougar due to her interest in younger men, which is a gross oversight as she is actually a tiger. Outside we find Aladdin, who has been spying on Jasmine using the latest and greatest in telescope technology.
Slow down, baby. That princess is hotter than heck, boy. If only I were a prince.
Suddenly, a figure creeps out of the darkness and introduces themselves as none other than— Holy shit! Wait a minute, is that Rob fucking Stark? We have PPR royalty in here. Alright, I'm on board.
Hey, bro. My name is Jeff. That is because you with me, you get what you need.
You wouldn't happen to be an evil guy.
Did you see the latest Louis C.K. apology? Sounded sincere to me.
You wouldn't happen to have a questionable deal to make with me, would you?
Swat! You bet your Baba Ganoush he would. You see that cave over there? It is called the Cave of Boners.
Jafuk makes a reference to the Cave of Wonders from the films, which has apparently been redubbed into the Cave of Boners, now filled with rectal treasures rather than the monetary delights of its big screen counterpart.
And all I need you to do is just go in there and get me this silly old little lamp that you would never pay attention to, and a room full of golden dildos and diamond butt plugs. You do that for me and you can have all the riches in there.
I'm gonna be rich AF.
With a twinkle in his eye, Aladdin can't help but want to believe Jafuk on the chance that his dreams might finally come true.
Slow down, baby. Like you just divorced Jeff Bezos. Mwah!
Upon entering the Cave of Boners, Aladdin immediately finds the lamp he's looking for.
Good job, Abu. Look at all this treasure. If I were a cartoon duck, I'd be swimming in it.
Aladdin begins to rub the lamp in anticipation of the riches that will soon be bestowed upon him.
I'm gonna be so rich. I'm gonna be able to afford that accent that I should already have.
Unknowingly summoning a genie in the process.
You're...
Embarrassed to be in this makeup? Yep.
What the f*** are you? Some type of live-action Sonic the Hedgehog?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the second and possibly best musical number of Aladdin, which is an assault on the senses in all the right ways. And let me tell you, it leaves little to the imagination. Enjoy, folks.
Now I'm a fucking genie, and I live in a fucking lamp. I got a big blue that does a trick and makes all the ladies damn. Some motherfuckers ain't no magic, some do miracles and shit. But I grant wishes, so take that business up my primary color tint. I do cool genie stuff that Gandalf shall not pass. Harry Potter's a hack, I give him a smack. I thought bigger wishes out my ass.
After the genie has raunchily introduced his powers, mentioned his genitalia countless times, dissed Harry Potter, and told Aladdin that he can make any 3 wishes he likes, we find ourselves back in Jasmine's palace. We see Aladdin, who looks like a new man, decked out in finely garnished robes and princely attire. Lovers of the film here realize that Aladdin has wished to be a prince so that Jasmine can marry him. After decking out our hero, Genie proceeds to drop the hottest hype track of all time in a song called Prince Aldi.
Prince Aldi. Prince Aldi is down to his knee and back to his zipper. Yeah, his long prick's real thick, as thick as a tree. It's long, it's thick, and it's hard. So strong it always stands guard. So famous it's got headlines on TMZ. His big boss so big you can't beat it. His pipe is a bong, his pointed shoes a size 33. Prince Aldi.
Unlike his on-screen counterpart, the genie here doesn't simply remark on Aladdin's good looks, but rather makes the primary focus of his introduction about the size and veracity of Aladdin's penis, dazzling Jasmine with tall tales of Aladdin's sexual prowess and gigantic member that is likely to please even the most critical suitors. Up next, we get Cunnilingus on a magic carpet. Again, instead of promising to expand Jasmine's world like in the film, Aladdin details how he will rock it by having sex with her on a flying carpet.
I can show you my sword. It's long, it's hard, and it's splendid. Get my royal pants undid and watch my meat rug rise.
You're turning between my thighs. Your princely tongue open.
Up next, our boy Jafuk returns to cash in on his investment as he tries his best to sway Princess Jasmine to, have sex with him.
Wow! Princess!
What is it, Jafuk?
Are you really about to f this guy, Prince D over here? Wouldn't you rather f somebody more evil?
As a last-ditch effort, Jafuk performs what I can only call the most merciless self-diss track of all time.
Prince Aldi, what about me, my je ne sais quoi? I'm neat, I've got a parrot and a goatee. I think you may like my dick. I'm hung just like a tick, it'll easily fit, but give you Lyme disease. Why not?
Finally, Jafak tries to betray Aladdin by revealing his true identity like in the films. But this guy doesn't really know how to read the room because that doesn't seem to be Jasmine's main priority.
That's okay. I'm cool.
That song about my weird dick didn't do it for ya? I'm never trusting you again. What if I told you that Prince Aldi wasn't a prince?
That's okay.
I guess I'll just be on my evil way then. See you later, AC Slater. I blame you for that. Your song sucked.
With Jafak cocked and Aladdin ready to be, well, f***ed, our hero is allowed to demonstrate his vitality and vim as the two lovers finally make love. The end. Leroy, 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 you son of a bitch. Never did I think, when starting this series, I'd get to see something like this. You know, when you're reviewing porn parodies on YouTube, sometimes you might question, as any reasonable person might, what has my life become? When will I ever find happiness again? Why did she have to take the kids? But you know what? Parodies like this remind me why PPR is so special and why I love this job. As you know, I usually start my analysis with the plot, but I think the plot has taken a backseat to the main attraction of this parody, which is the musical numbers. The music here was composed by D Squared. I gotta say, it would have really been easy for someone in his position to half-ass this job, and probably get away with it, but not D Squared. I think the songs are suitably lively and exciting for a parody of this caliber. The lyrics, however, were penned by our very own Leroy Myers, which go hand in hand with D Squared's music, indicating that they shared a cohesive and ultimately effective vision of how to bring this together. Let's start with the obvious. These numbers are of course parodying the classical tracks of the original film. We are treated to 5 songs in this parody. One Hump, which is parodying One Jump Ahead. I'm a f***ing Genie, which is parodying A Friend Like Me, which is when Robin Williams details what his powers are and what he can do for Aladdin. Next, we have Prince All D, a song focused solely on hyping up Aladdin in the same way as Robin Williams did with the original Prince Ali. Cunnilingus on a Magic Carpet gives us our homage to the renowned carpet scene called A Whole New World. And lastly, Prince All D, Jafak Reprise, or the Prince Ali Reprise, which features Jafar as the potential hypey in this version. The primary difference between the old and the new being that the parody versions have replaced the themes of love and friendship with lust and genitalia. Lots of genitalia. Which is exactly what everyone expected, and I guess some of you guys probably wanted. As to the performances accompanying the music, most of them are serviceable. When the musical numbers work, they work. I mean, singing on a magical carpet never needed to be complicated. But unfortunately, while I find most of the singing from the actors to be really fun and energetic, there are many numbers where the presentation and excitement is extremely lacking, and I mean visually. Sure, I could blame the actors for their wooden movement, but based on their acting, I find all of them perfectly capable of putting on a good show. Nah, this is a directing issue. Myers delivers some great tracks, yet lets us down here, leaning way too heavily on static shots with animation rather than giving the camera any life, and the actors the opportunity to move around. Leroy really dropped the ball here, and the numbers pale in comparison to the originals. And man, it's a damn shame because you can hear the enthusiasm from the performers in the recordings, especially from Donnie Rock. But that energy just wasn't there outside the recording booth. Quickly for the plot, there isn't a lot to address here. All the events from the original story pretty much play out to a T, albeit with less conflict. While the story is a pretty good copy, I do have to say that the writing and actual dialogue, while fun at times,
"Hi honey, I'm Ted. Honey?"
leaves something to be desired and occasionally errs on the side of cringe.
All I wanted was a prince to punish my as if it were a dark-skinned family trying to escape genocide via the US border. Is it too much to ask?
If only I were a prince, then I could do like that Aha song Parsley says and take on Princess Jane's vagina.
I just feel that sometimes Leroy is trying a bit too hard to be raunchy with his writing, to the point where I wish they had reined him in just a little bit. Like, we get it, we're watching a porn parody, but there's only so many jokes you can make about sex before it gets, well, you know, redundant. Something to note too is that some characters from the original are missing here too, like the Sultan and the monkey.
Good job, Abu.
but it doesn't really hurt the parody. They did give Jafar's parrot on the shoulder though, so that's cool. For acting, Tommy Pistol, who plays Jafar, just knows what he's doing and loses himself in the character. In an industry full of half-assing and so-so performances, Tommy Pistol rises above the crowd as a really special addition to this movie. Yeah, he's not really anything like Jafar from the films, but you can tell he just loves what he does and takes pride in his work. He's just so happy to be evil, and you buy it 100%. I'm thrilled to see him back here, and watching him is always a treat. Overall, I'm relieved to say that no one really disappoints in this department. Aladdin does what he needs to, capturing that clueless and naive nature that Aladdin has in the movies, while retaining that subtle wittiness. Excellent work. Will Tell provides some comedic levity, although he doesn't get to talk much outside of singing. But I don't want to ignore Jasmine either, as she generally holds her own against Aladdin and is quite the mood. Like Jafar, her character is nothing like that from the movies, but her delivery suits this retelling. The effects on display here are without a doubt the best I have ever seen in a parody thus far. Not that that's a particularly high bar though. The production team for Aladdin did their best to dazzle the audience in their set pieces. While they aren't the flashiest effects, they seamlessly complement the lyrics. Combined with the music, performances, and writing, it makes for some funny moments. Sure, some of them are gross, but f*** it. I like that they had a vision and didn't hold back. It's no surprise to me that the sets, while accommodating, are a bit lacking and feel too empty. While it wasn't an eyesore, the sets and camera work once again suffered from being shot from one angle at all times. However, the team took great care to light the sets in a tasteful manner and bring them to life with simple but welcome details. The scene that stood out to me the most was the courtyard scene. This particular section made an impression because I've never seen a night scene in a porn parody. I have no complaints about the costumes here. They look identical to the costumes seen in the films and match the rest of this porno's production value. They really spared no expense here, and it shows. As to our lovely PP chart, we'll keep it short and stout. This parody has a high plot percentage, but it's also criminally short. So lovers of parodies won't exactly be getting their money's worth here. And that brings me to the rating, ladies and gentlemen. And I am going to be giving Aladdin, Leroy's latest flick, a 6 out of 10. Aladdin, while ambitious, is just missing a bit more creativity and energy that was really needed to bring this story to life. It's a perfectly serviceable parody that doesn't blow your socks off, but won't leave you disappointed. There's some clear improvements Leroy could make here, but I think he should give himself a big pat on the back for even attempting to make the songs work in the first place, and that's the main draw for this parody. I've caught myself humming a few songs since my viewing, so I'd call that a success in my book. Well done, Leroy, and I'm looking forward to what you cook up next. But that's it for this review. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you sooner than you'd like. Take care.
You're listening to Radio New Vegas.
Tell them to comb the desert, do you hear me?
Hey.